All right, so here we are at the Fidelity Investments Woodlands Marathon 2017 official race guide. Please forgive my mouse cursor as we go through this guide and see what we're going to be doing this weekend. Right here on the first page, you notice that you'll notice that there is an advertisement, which there are a lot of in this magazine, and there's also the table of contents here. We continue on with more advertisements, a welcome from the commissioner, an orthopedic advertisement, and a welcome from the chairman of the board of the Woodlands, where the marathon will be running through. More advertisements for the Arts Council, and another welcome message to us. Another advertisement from Topgolf, and then welcome to the 2017 Woodlands Marathon by the management team. Again, more advertisements. And our sponsors for the event. And then we get to a nice little section where there's finally some solid information here about it. Frequently asked questions, start locations, can you bring a jogger, what about headphones, are there pace teams, what kind of roads are around. General information that's actually fairly informative as you look through this. I'm mainly interested in the marathon stuff, but there's also stuff for relays and about registration. You got it, more advertisement. And then we get on to the race schedule. The Friday is going to be the day that I pick up my expo packet, and then on Saturday I'm going to be in Corral B, so it closes at 7 a.m. Both the marathon and the corrals close when the race starts at 7 a.m. So it's probably ideal that you get in there a little earlier. As we turn to the next page, you start to get an idea of our morning planning. It tells you where you can park your cars, where you do a gear drop off, and then where the restrooms are. It also tells you the crowd closing times for the marathon, relays, and the half marathon. They both start right next to each other, but they do go on different courses. Here we are with some information on basically trying to make sure you stay hydrated. Signs and symptoms of heat exhaustion, hopefully not heat stroke. Here we are with information on hydration, and it's important to know what are the signs and symptoms of getting exhausted, leading towards heat exhaustion, and trying to avoid heat stroke, which can knock you out and possibly even be life-threatening at times to you. On the right side of this page, you start noticing about the race pickup, where to get your packet, when to pick it up between 10 and 8 p.m., which is quite a wide window on a Friday, and the race will be the next day. Here we are, more advertisement for Villa Sports, and then it talks about bag drops and gear checks. You're going to use the bag just like most races, including the Disney ones that they provide for you, and then you get to check it in, and then you can come back after your race and get it. Because nobody likes to run with their keys typically. Again, as with all bag drops, leaving them there is at your peril. But I've never had a problem whenever I've had bag drops. And on this page, it's just more advertisements for podiatry and Fidelity. And as we turn the next page, more advertisements, and then we get into a parking map, where you can park, where our guests can park. They're in two separate areas, and the vendor parking as well. So as we move on, looking at the restroom map, which is a very important map, you'll notice that there are some just in front of the start lines, and most of them are at the back of the corrals, so that you can get your daily business done before you get on your runs. They talk here a little bit about the B tag, which is just typically what we're using for most races nowadays. Not really a problem. More advertisements, and to show you what the bibs look like. I am not an elite, so I will not be looking at any of those elite bibs down there. But if you take a look up here, the marathon one's there with some tear-off tabs at the bottom. Getting onto this next page, just more advertisements. And then something that's quite impressive. This is the Woodlands Marathon map. If you look, you start on Lake Robbins Drive, and you basically end up running down Grogan's Mill. And you can see there's quite a few water stations every 1.5 to 2 miles as you go through. As you continue going down past mile 8, mile 9, you start to realize that it's quite a long distance in a large circle around this entire way. There are some food stops throughout the course on there. They do denote it in the email that they sent us, but it doesn't seem to be on this map at this moment. It starts at 7 o'clock in the morning, and it does run for about 1:30. So they do ask that you try and do the marathon in about 14.5-minute miles on there. Now this is a bit faster than what's at Disney, which is a 16-minute per mile pace. It was something that I didn't know when I originally signed up for it, but I should be okay still. More advertising! Yeah! And this is the half marathon. For those that are interested in running the half marathon, it is a completely different course. It does catch up at one point where it goes on Kirkendall around miles 6 to 7, so it does have the same finish, I believe. But yeah, they start off at the same time and go on different ways. Did I mention there's some advertising in here? There is a 5K map. I believe that is on Friday, if I remember correctly. I don't know for sure. Nope, it says right up there Saturday. Here's the 5K course map, which is also Saturday, and it closes the corral at 7:10, so they probably run this right after we run the big races. And on this page, they have more advertisement for the Texas 10 over Conroe, and then the 2K course map, which is on Friday, March 3rd, 2017. There it is at 6 p.m. at night. And even more advertisement here. You can see the Conroe 10 miler, and then on the right side you see the 2K course map, which is on Friday night, about 6:30 at night, so it is not even on the day of the marathon or the half marathon. They come over here, and this is the relay map. For those that do the relays, you can see there are some 4-person relay spots and then a 2-person relay spot. They talk a little bit here about relay information. I'm not going to spend a whole lot of time on this because I'm not doing a relay, and I'm going for the full kit and caboodle. And then they give you tips here for your first race. Make sure nothing you wear is new. I can definitely agree with that. Line up with runners with similar ability. Yes, you want to try and find your pace group so you're not getting slaughtered, run around there. It's a little different than a Disney race. Always begin slowly. You can always go faster. It is 26 miles. Point 2. Use the water stations. Yes, I never skipped any of those. Do not be disheartened with other runners pass you during the race. A lot of people pass me during the race. Know when the cutoff time is for your race so you can pace yourself accordingly. Yes. So if you look down there, it says it's depressing to finish without a finish line and an official time. For the 10K, the cutoff is usually 1:30. For the 15, 1:40 to 2. And then for some marathons, it's as much as 6 hours. So there we go. Stay hydrated, marathon water gel stops. There's a GU stop. Here's where the information is. At mile 10.75, and then I believe there's a second GU stop, yes, at mile 19.75. So there's 2 stops where they'll have multiple flavors of GU energy gels there. Personally, I bring my own nutrition as I do these runs because you never can rely on what they give you there. I did take a lot of bananas when I did the Walt Disney World Marathon, and I did use some of the gels that they offered me there. They also talk about the half marathon gels as well, which looks to be at mile 6.75, which is the same stop as the 19.75 for the marathon. Did I mention there's advertising? A lot of advertising. Even more advertising, but those fajitas are looking sweet. And then we get to more advertising. And did I say there was advertising? And there's a save a date for the next year, 3/3/18, Woodlands Marathon. Let's get through this one first. And that is the end of the packet. So the Woodlands Marathon is going to be Saturday morning. We've gone through the packet, and I'm getting pretty excited.